Good afternoon, everyone. Today is 17th July, and this day is observed all over the world as International Day for Justice. BDM International has planned to observe this day in a unique way by organizing an intra-class debate competition. This International Day for Justice marks the importance of continuing the fight against impunity and restoring peace and order in the society. The English department of the senior secondary section of BDM International has organized today's debating session, and on behalf of the school BDM International, I, Ms. Devaditi Basu, would like to welcome on and all to this August gathering. Now, over to Chirosri Bhattacharya ma'am, one of our judges, to talk about the special significance of the day. Why 17th July is only chosen to be the one International Day for Justice. Over to Chirosri ma'am.
Good morning, Honorable Principal Madam, Director of Education Madam, my respective colleagues and my dear students. Today is 17th of July 2020 and today Mother Earth is celebrating International Justice Day. This commemorates the historic adoption of Roman Statute. Statute, as you know, it means written law on 17th of July 1998, and it also marks the importance of continuing the fight against any kind of injustice, bringing justice for the victims of war crimes, crime against humanity, mass killing of people, and genocide. However, the question is why 17th of July? Why not 18th of July or 28th of July or 29th of July? Actually, 17th of July, it is on this date, the adoption of the treaty was done that actually had created the International Criminal Court of Justice. And the International Criminal Court of Justice, as you know, that it is an international court that settles all kinds of international disputes and try to pacify and try to restore peace and normalcy in our world. So that is why every year on 17th of July, we celebrate the International Day of Justice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chirosri ma'am. You being one of the judges, it's truly an enlightening session to know about the importance of the day. With the kind permission of the heads of the institution, I'd like to introduce the speakers and the judges for the day. Molly Basu ma'am from Department of English, Shubhra Bhattacharya ma'am from Department of English, Chirosri Bhattacharya ma'am from Political Science Department. We welcome you all to be our honorable judges for the event. Very interestingly, today we have two teams. The team proposition who will be speaking for the motion, they are named Patiala House. And team opposition speaking against the motion, they are named Tees Hazari. Since we are observing the World Justice Day, we thought of giving names of law courts, the popular law courts of India, as the names of the team. I find it's really interesting. We have 5 speakers in each team. Patiala House, we have Shomodip Chattopadhyay, Anamika Mukherjee, Srijita Nashkar, Jessica Dash, and Arihant Kanan. In Tees Hazari, we have our 5 speakers speaking against the motion: Debarati De, Lavanya Choudhury, Ridham Roy, Avijit Chatterjee, and Shirshendu Mondol. Now, I would like to have our Molly ma'am, one of the judges, to be explaining the parameters of judgment. Molly ma'am, over to you.
Molly ma'am, please switch on your audio.
Good afternoon,
Molly ma'am.
Principal ma'am. Good afternoon, Principal ma'am. Good afternoon, teachers, and good afternoon, students. Today, as it has been decided, the total marks to be awarded is 50. For content, there will be 10 marks. Children, you are requested to not to deviate, not to digress from the main point, we are going to give you the marks on the basis of the relevance of the topic. The second one is time management. It has been already notified to you that after 2 minutes 30 seconds there will be a short bell, and thereafter there is going to be the final bell at 3 minutes. And there will be marks, 10 marks for expression. For argumentation there are 10 marks. Since you know it is a battle of wits, or you can say it is a battle of words. So children, please remember there are marks on the argumentation. And there will be the rebuttal session. All 10 students will be given a chance to answer to the questions. The questions will be asked by the audience. So total there are 50 marks. Over to Debodhuti ma'am.
Thank you, Molly ma'am, for explaining the rules so explicitly to the participants. Now over to Swagata Banerjee ma'am, who will be clarifying the rules and regulations of debating for the day to the participants. Swagata ma'am.
Thank you, Debodhuti ma'am. Good afternoon, Principal ma'am, Director of Education, Vice Principal ma'am, all the teachers, my colleagues, and all the students. Very good afternoon to one and all. Here are the rules which you need to listen to very carefully so that there is no deviation. First and foremost, as per your knowledge, we have two teams, for the motion and against the motion. For the motion is Patiala House, against the motion is Tis Hazari. Each team has 5 debaters and they would be debating accordingly, according to the order which Debodhuti ma'am will be giving you all. Each debater will get 3 minutes speaking time, first bell at 2 minutes 30 seconds and final bell at the end of 3 minutes. Please note, first short bell 2 minutes 30 seconds, final bell 3 minutes. Order of speakers will be one after the other, that is from team A, the first speaker, and then from team B, the first speaker. It is compulsory for y'all to be in your video mode when you are speaking. Please do not put off your videos when you are speaking. Secondly, the most important and the most awaited round, the rebuttal round, total, it would be around for 10 to 15 minutes maximum. Team A and B both can ask maximum of questions to each other according to the moderator's decision, which would be full and final for you. Thank you, Debodhuti ma'am.
Thank you, Swagata ma'am, for explaining the rules and regulations. With Principal ma'am's kind permission, ma'am, may I start the event?
Yes, please start. Please start.
Yes. So, students, we all know that debating is a skill and that needs a very strong argumentation, the power to convince people. Online debating had been really a challenge for all of us because this is the first time Videum International, our dear school, has given us this opportunity to prove that may it be physical platform or an online platform, good debaters will rock. Over to Shomodip Chattopadhyay from Patiala House, 11 Science D, who will be speaking for the motion. Over to Shomodip Chattopadhyay.
A very good afternoon to my respected judges and the opposition. Today we, the Patiala House, will try to prove that justice delayed is justice denied. We believe that if a case goes on in court for decades on end, then it causes more harm than good to the victim. If after decades of harassment it becomes impossible to continue fighting the case, then the offenders get to just walk away despite committing a crime. Hence we believe that justice should be swift and fair, keeping in mind the greater good of the people. Now let us look at 2 case studies that have gone on for decades despite the presence of clear evidence. Bhopal gas tragedy. Union Carbide Corporation had a plant in Bhopal which made poisonous pesticides with poisonous substances like methyl isocyanate. During a water washing exercise on 2nd December 1984, water leaked into the methyl isocyanate plant and caused a huge explosion which released poisonous gases into the air. Over 3,700 people were killed on that day, and today, 35 years after the incident, 5.5 lakh people suffer from various birth-related disorders which deform them for life. Investigations suggest that the owners of the plant did not invest in proper security measures at all. They switched off the security systems like the tank refrigeration system, which in fact could have prevented the entire disaster altogether. The case persisted for nearly 20 years, after which 8 members were imprisoned for just 2 years. However, the head of the company, Warren Anderson, quietly left the country and has never been heard of since. The government was heavily criticized for the way it handled the case. It took them almost 19 years to move a formal request for his extradition. Now let's look at the Upahar Cinema case. Halfway through the screening of a film called Border, a fire broke out at Delhi's Upahar Cinema, owned by the brothers Sushil and Gopal Ansal, on June 13, 1997. Trapped inside the hall, 59 died of suffocation while 103 were injured. For 23 years, families of the victims fought a legal battle to get justice. The inquiries done by intelligence agencies suggest the following. No announcement was made when the fire broke out. The cinema hall was in pitch darkness when the fire broke out because there were no illuminated signs. Several security measures were also not present, due to which the people could not leave the premises. Thus, despite having clear evidence of the Ansal brothers' negligence, where even shops were being run from spaces supposed to be empty, the case dragged on for 23 years till February 9, 2017. Despite the humongous trauma faced by the innocent families, very little compensation was given to the families affected. Thus, we can see the severe trauma caused by a delayed trial, and I'm sure my respected judges will agree with me when I say that justice delayed is indeed justice denied. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shomodip. Thank you, Shomodip. Now it's turn for Debaroti Day, 11 Humanities, 30 Hazari. Debaroti, over to you.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to ask you something. In this overspeeding and accelerating world, everyone is in love with instant stuff, from instant goods to instant delivery to instant food. But tell me something. In the long run, will you like to have instant food and an adverse effect on your health, or something that will take time but is assuring your good health in the near future? Something same happens with justice. If you haste it, you waste it. With this, I would like to greet each and everyone present here. Good afternoon to my respectable judges, the honorable dignitaries, my fellow members. I would like to speak against the motion, justice delayed is justice denied. As far as I know, this term was first told by Sir William Ewart Gladstone, which misleads us to have a wrong preconceived notion of this legal maxim. If justice was delayed, it means that at some point of time it was served. It only got delayed due to some complications and circumstances which were unavoidable, but it was never denied. And as for justice, it is a destination, and the path to reach it is long drawn. We need to furnish it with time, love, care, debate, discussion, and deliberation so that we can procure most finest of even-handed decisions, so that each and every right of a citizen is secured, so that an individual feels as a citizen. And secondly, as I have already said, hic makes best. If justice delayed is justice denied, then justice hurried is justice buried. Hasting a decision is another name for making half-baked imperfection. But we need to think, and we need to give time to this legal process. We can't judge everything on our sentimental issues. And as my worthy opponent said that we have a lot of cases pending, it is for me, how can it be so easy to go through all the evidences, to go through the investigation process, and to serve the legal service in just a snap? But still, if you overlook all these points and still crave for instant stuff, then I should suggest Maggie to you, but still it takes time than the specified one. Everything good takes time. We need to understand that, and we need to work hand in hand so that we can get a better future. And as for the administration of our country, it works headlong, day and night, every time, to give us the best of possible rights so that each of us can Okay, I would like to thank you for giving us the chance to voice my views. And if justice delayed is justice denied, then justice hurried is justice buried. With this, I rest my case but not my stance. Thank you.
Thank you, Debarati. It was nice listening to your forceful argumentation that everything good takes time. Over to Anamika Mukherjee, 11 Humanities, Patiala House. Over to Anamika.
Respected Chairperson, members of the jury, and everyone present today, I am Anamika Mukherjee wishing you all a very good afternoon. I present my views on the topic Justice Delayed is Justice Denied. The topic into consideration, how many of us actually know the meaning of the term justice? According to the Wikipedia, justice is a concept of moral rightness based on ethics, rationality, law, natural law, etc. But when we ask the persons who are trying to seek justice, who are under a crime, who are a victim of a crime, these mere words enough to describe what they want? According to John Rawls, justice is the first virtue of social institutions as truth is of social institutions to those who are victim of a crime. Justice is an emotion, a hope that whatever has happened to them, they have something that will help them to punish those who are responsible for it to happen. In functioning of any democracy, judicial system is real Indian constitution. We are guaranteed to have speedy trials, but most of the times this is not followed. Victims also consider those who are sent to jail even before the decision was taken. Those who are innocent but are waiting to get the statement not guilty. Many even died in jail or committed suicide from the harassment of being jailed, although they were innocent. Justice Vaidyanathapuram Ramaiah Krishnaiyer was a noted judge who became a pioneer of judicial activism in India. While dealing with the bail petition in Babu Singh versus State of UP, remarked, our justice system in great cases suffers from slow motion syndrome, which is leading to fair trial whatever the ultimate decision is. In 2018, there was one judge for 73,000 people in India. In Delhi, one judge for 493,000 people was estimated. Also, each judge in Delhi had 1,450 pending cases. A survey report submitted said that over 60 lakh cases were pending in UP. In 2024, High Court's 43.8 lakh decisions were pending, out of which 8 lakh were more than 10 years old cases as of September 2019. Don't you all think that a victim will be publicly harassed if he or she has to go to court more than a decade? It is a mental trauma just to go to a court, or let's say, even for a month or once in a year. What's more, many people have to wait for years and years without getting a proper hearing in the court. It not only affects the victim's mental health, but his physical health, his social life, professional life, as well as confidence. For a good country, it was estimated to be 15 Supreme Court judges per 1 million population, but India only has 10.5 Supreme Court judges per 1 million population in India, which is very less. Here I rest my case, but on my stand. Thank you.
Thank you, Anamika Mukherjee. You have highlighted how justice delayed is basically causing a traumatic experience to the convict, who may not be a convict at all. Now over to Lavanya Chaudhary from Tiz Hazari, 11 Science B. Lavanya, we are waiting to hear your arguments. Over to Lavanya.
First of all, I would like to good afternoon, my honorable principal ma'am, in charge ma'am, all the teachers, respected jury, and my fellow competitors. I am Lavanya Chaudhary, and today I will speak against the motion on the topic, justice delayed is justice denied. If justice delayed is justice denied, then justice hurried is justice buried. This is what Debarati said, and I will completely agree. Justice is a natural process which takes time for its completion, like any other actions that happen simultaneously in nature. The delayed process of delivering justice is the sign of its perfection and transparency. It is common and obvious that in such a big country like India, It is necessary to check out that the decision taken is right and does not hamper the natural justice. As Debarati said, in India, we offer our offender to fight in the court. Thus, the process of finding truth takes time and becomes more difficult. As it is said that 100 criminals can be released, but one innocent should not be punished. We people are so busy that we want everything instantly, even justice too. But delivering process of justice takes time. Guilty can even buy the witnesses, and a wrong person can be punished. So to avoid this, the time is taken. But it never means that justice is denied. Regardless of when justice was denied, it is still being served means justice is never denied. The alternative like Lok Adalats, family courts, fast-track courts, ultimatums given in women and children-related cases refer that justice can be delayed but never denied. We can take the example of the case in Delhi in 2012 November. A 14-year-old boy named Salim Muhammad was killed and 2 men were accused for his murder. The trial court examined 22 out of 24 witnesses in a single day to make a hurried justice. This led to the lifetime imprisonment of the 2 men. Later, when the case was put up to Delhi High Court, it was found that the judgment was wrong. In such a situation, we can clearly say that a hurried judgment can be a bad choice. In this situation, delayed justice is better. So, what will the opposition prefer? A delayed but correct justice or a wrong justice? With this, I will rest my case. Thank you.
I think Lavanya has put a very thought-provoking questions to Patiala House that what do you want, correct justice or delayed justice? Now, after that, the speaker will be Srijita Nashkor, 11 Science C from Patiala House, speaking for the motion. Over to Srijita Nashkor.
Good morning to our respected teachers, honorable jury members, my worthy opponents and all present here. Today I am going to speak for the motion on the topic justice delayed is justice denied. Do you remember that horrific night when the streets of Delhi were getting dressed up with colorful lights? It was 9 days before Christmas, and those 5 werewolves, they destroyed the life of that innocent girl. Can you recall the date when this hideous crime took place? Yes, it was 16th of December in the year 2012. And then, almost 7 years, 3 months, and 10 days after our Nirbhaya's death came out the final verdict in the name of justice for Nirbhaya. Did she, after 7 years, 3 months, and 10 days, come out of her grave to receive the justice which was due to her? Did she? No, friends, she didn't. Justice literally means that people receive what they deserve. And if the victim herself or himself is not in this earth anymore, then to whom is the justice made, may I ask? Can this be called as real justice? Delaying of justice has reached such an apex that currently there are more than 3.3 crore cases still pending in different courts across our country. On an average, an Indian law case keeps pending for 2 years and 2 months. Why only Nirbhaya? Take Vinod Kumar's murder case, which was filed in the year 1994. 22 years have passed by since the case has been filed, and till now, only 3 out of the 36 witnesses have been examined so far, and 4 of them have simply died without being presented in the court. For 22 long years, Vinod's people kept paying the lawyers, and the courts kept giving dates after dates, delaying the date of the actual verdict. Now, do you think this is real justice? To whom is the justice made? To the dead body of Vinod or to the dead body of her mother? These are just mere examples which came into the limelight, but there are thousands and hundreds and lakhs of such cases which are dying off like this every day. In due course of time, as the delay gets longer, the witnesses either die or get killed, memory fades off, or evidences simply get washed up. And without these 3 basic things, even the wisest of the judges or the cleverest of the lawyers are helpless. They can't do anything. So the judiciary needs to incorporate more number of judges and speed up the judiciary process so that the victim gets benefited. Thus, I fully comply to the tagline that justice delayed is justice denied. And just to remind my worthy opponent that as justice cannot be hurried, It is not a process that needs to be hurried. Similarly, it cannot take 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years for a single case to be solved. Like that, none of the victims would get true justice. The meaning of true justice would not be justified actually. Thank you.
Thank you, Srijita. I think you have actually posed a very thought-provoking question: to whom is the justice meant? So now it's time for Tees Hazari from Tees Hazari team, Ridham Roy, 11 Science D, to present his arguments. Over to Ridham.
Wishing everyone a very good afternoon. I would like to start it from my side now. So first of all, Shrita, I would like to remind you of the fact that you are talking about an exceptional case as the first co. You need to understand from that time's perspective. Like during those times, death penalty or capital punishment was seen like a taboo, and like it was only given to those people who were involved in terrorism or war waging acts. And even the judges were like unable to classify it under the rarest of rare crimes. And you want to talk about how our judicial system acts, like how lazily the things happen. No, it doesn't happen like that. A 644 report, a 644 pages of a report was made just within a month, like seeing how heinous it was. And like a number of amendments took place in the law, like in 2013 it was like all the gender neutralities were scrapped off, like only a man could do such kind of offense. And also new like definition of rape was like introduced. All new kinds of sexual harassments, including acid attacks, were also introduced. And like after investigation in 2014, like Delhi High Court had actually upheld the death punishment of all these 6 convicts. And the thing is that one of them had actually committed suicide, and another one of them had there was a condition whether he was a juvenile or not, and hence he was sent for 3 years probation. And so only 4 like convicts were left. So the thing is that like our judicial system is very much human, with respect to other countries, like the countries under dictatorship or monarchy. Take the example of UAE, where public beheading happens like it is a kind of marriage. But so they were given many legal options, and they had to be exhausted before they were given the final death punishment. So like they were given the death punishment, it took some time, but the barrier was broken. Like Nirbhay's mom was not only fighting for her daughter's justice, but also for the freedom of a woman who can go outside as and when they want. Like they were afraid of going outside as if some kind of predators were waiting for them. So it was achieved. You need to understand the impact it has created, and it was a big lesson for everybody. And the judge is not going to go outside and investigate. He has to decide just on the basis of the evidence and confessions he has been served with. So you need to get it right. Thank you.
Thank you, Ridham. I think Ridham, as quote unquote, put a question: the judicial system in India is humane. Now, I would like to rest this case to Patiala House, that whether it should be just or humane. Over to Jessica Das from 11 Science B from Patiala House, our next debater.
Good afternoon, respected jury members, moderator ma'am, all the teachers, my worthy opponents, and of course the audience. I, Jessica Das of Class 11 Science Section B, present here to speak for the notion, justice delayed is justice denied. Any work done at the right time is much more effective than when it is hurried or when it is delayed. But in India, justice moves at the pace of a bullock cart sometimes. The culprits get more daring, and they are not even afraid of the punishment many a times. If you have noticed ever that industrial development in Mumbai is hindered due to the increasing number of pending cases regarding land disputes. Statistics shows that the backlog of cases actually pulls back the economic development of a country. And I'd like to also influence that, as Rhythm said, that Nirbhaya case was an exceptional one. I'd like to post a question to Rhythm that do you think it's an exceptional one at all? Because every day the names are only changing, acts are remaining same, and the thing was not very well also. Even in fact, in the correction homes, many a times the culprits are mentally burdened at the increasing number of dates after dates of ineffective trial. And why only political justice? Being Indian citizens, we all are entitled to social and economic justice. But do we get it? Take the infamous case of Lalang Machal. 23-year-old Lalang was captured in 1951 at 23 years of age for doing some grievous harm. He was released in 77 years of age when the court finally declared that Lalang was punished for the crime he never committed. My friends, the dead cannot cry out for justice. It is a duty of the living to do so for them. And I, on this occasion of World Justice Day, would request you all to come up and to speak the truth and to speak loud so that your voice can be heard and at the right time. Because justice delayed is truly justice denied. Thank you.
Yes, Jessica, your voice has reached us all. And now it's time for Avijit Chatterjee, 11 Science C, to actually answer back what the opponent has put. Many pending cases, economic development of the country hindered. Please keep that in mind. Over to Avijit.
A very good afternoon to everyone present here. Today I, Avijit Chatterjee, am going to speak against the motion, justice delayed is justice denied. Justice in general is the idea that people should receive that which they deserve. It is not an idea of quick judgment with the motive to get revenge. From where I am sitting, I continuously have been hearing that delay in the justice system is the biggest crime in the world and the judicial system should always be pushed to be better. Even though I do agree with some of this, I think we all need to understand that changes in the judicial system take time. For a regular person, bringing a noticeable change in the judicial system can take months, if not years. Now, this type of system allows for proper go-through of ideas, concepts, and even promotions. This carves the way for a high-quality justice system. Evidence collection related to any case requires precision and time, and so does casing the situation in which the crime took place. This allows for proper and high-quality justice. Larry Lawton, an ex-jewel thief, recently came out with his life story about prison, in which he detailed the life of innocent people who were wrongfully convicted and sent to prison and had to spend the rest of their lives in prison for the crimes they did not even commit, all for not reviewing the evidences properly. Now, another problem that will surely surface would be a lack of infrastructure. A quick judgment system is such an example. A good example that I would like to show is the dowry law, in which many women have claimed their husband's money wrongfully and unjustly. Now, solution to these problems is filling the vacancies with competent and high-quality judges and lawyers. This allows for time to develop our judicial system with proper infrastructure. Thus, we can see how a well-built and well-paced judicial system vastly outdoes a poorly defined quick judgment system. So today, I can say that justice delayed is not always justice denied. Thank you, everyone.
Avijit has put another thought stirrer, I think, competence of judges. Well, and he has also commented how convicts should receive what they deserve. So with that note, over to Arihant Kannan from Commerce Department of Class 11. Over to Arihant.
Good afternoon to our honorable jury members, my fellow opponents, and one and all present. Hope everyone is safe and healthy in this tough time we all are going through. Today I will be speaking in favor of the motion that is justice delayed is justice denied. Time taken to resolve the dispute is very critical. I accept that. But as is the situation in most of the cases, there is a lot of unnecessary delay. I repeat, a lot. Today, it can take nearly 20 years. Yes, my friend, 20 years if a case goes all the way from the subordinate court to the High Court and then to the Supreme Court. 20 years means multiple generation of litigants, 20 years of frustration, disappointment, hopelessness, and whatnot. We can't just say that it has only got delayed. And Maggie also, when not consumed in time, becomes sticky and not fit to eat. Team Hazare, it's not about Nirbhaya rhythm. There are many more cases which have taken much more time and there has been unnecessary. A case taking this long to be resolved is symptomatic of an inefficient and ineffective judicial system. Any justice delivered after a span of 20 years would be absolutely bereft of its duty. Let's take an example to understand this phrase a bit better. If I hit a student in school and he, instead of hitting me back, went for the lawful way and complained about school, let's say a committee is set up in the school to resolve the issue. Now, the committee takes a lot of time to go through the CCTV videos, interrogation other students, and asking the same questions over and over again to both of us about what happened. Let's say the committee was working a bit slowly. They come up with a final decision after all the investigation, but guess what? We both have passed out from the school by that time. So what do you think will that person be thinking? He would be like, oh, I should have just hit him back at that time and ended there instead of going through all that hassle. And mind you, I'm not promoting taking law in our hands, and thankfully nobody is doing that. But what I mean to say is he lost his trust on the committee. This is the actual scenario now. People are losing trust on the judicial system, which is a very, very, very serious. Now let's talk about the financial aspect too. The average income of an Indian citizen, as stated by the World Bank in 2015, is just $1,670. That is 10,463 rupees a month. It's barely enough to fulfill the day-to-day necessity. So do we expect a person who earns 10,000 a month to fight for justice for 8 years, 9 years, 10 years? Is that what we expect from a person who struggles hard to provide 3 meals a day to his or her family? Is that how classist and biased the judiciary is? It's a known fact that it's financially impossible for most of our citizens to seek justice. It is a very harrowing truth and goes against the very idea of equal protection under the law to every citizen as guaranteed by the Constitution. To conclude, delaying justice dispensation makes it unaffordable for the masses, makes it tedious and impractical for anyone to use the system, and most importantly, it leads to erosion of trust in the courts and judiciary. Thank you.
Thank you, Arihant. I think you have really put some questions for us, which we really need to rethink. That pending cases are a reflection of inefficiency of the judicial system and how people are losing trust in the system. And in a third world country like India, can we afford to wait for so many years to get the justice? That is also a point. Now, last but not the least, we have from Tees Hazare team, Shishindu Mondal from Science A, speaking against the motion. Shishindu, over to you.
Respected Chairperson, members of the jury, and everyone present today. Wishing you all a very good afternoon. I want to present my views against today's motion, Justice Delayed is Justice Denied. To start off, I must say that India is one of the largest democracies in the world, and the very essence of democracy is equality for all. Democracy is famous for respecting the needs and interests of all the communities of people. It does delay the decision-making process, but it doesn't compromise with the quality of decision-making. For the quality of decision it makes, it is the most prevalent form of government in today's world. I strongly believe that justice delayed is not same as justice denied. We can take the example of Sanjay Dutt. He had to spend 18 months in the prison during his trial, after which he was sentenced to a 5-year imprisonment for keeping arms without any proper license, shooting down wild animals illegally, and having association with the Mumbai serial blasts of 1993. Despite being a celebrity, he was punished by the court. So this is how a judicial system should work. It should look after all the aspects of the case and decide the verdict regardless of the status of that person. There are still a large proportion of poor and illiterate persons who come to the court in order to seek justice. They put in a lot of efforts and money to arrange for a good advocate. But if injustice still prevails, then it is very shameful not only for the victim but also for the judiciary. But unfortunately, this hurrying has already taken an innocent life of Dhananjay Chatterjee, who was hanged to death on the basis of circumstantial evidence that he had raped and murdered a 14-year-old juvenile. But later on, it was found that the real culprit was roaming around in the wilds. Also, overview given by others were flawed and could never prove him guilty. Even the victim's family's words were given more credibility than that of his family. Just before his death sentence, he said, "I am being hanged because I am poor. Please see that other innocents don't end up like me." This is such a pathetic case that I personally could never have imagined. Since many films and documentaries have been made on this topic, there must be some truth behind this. If one verdict is made on a person, the mark is put on the person and it doesn't get removed even if the verdict is reversed later. Others in the family have to face exclusion from the society and bear the image of being a criminal. Alleging a person wrongly can prove detrimental for him or her while she had committed no crime. There are many instances where we can see so. As Avijit had said, I would like to share some statistics with you answering Arihan's question of the delaying of cases. Having only 12 judges per serving 1 lakh of people, it is impossible for the judges to make their decision at one go. So we can easily figure out why 3.2 crore cases are still pending over the last decade. Here I rest my case, but not my stance. Thank you.
Thank you, Shishandu. It was a power-packed argumentation, I must say. And you have put a very valid question. Along with Dhananjay, was poverty hanged? Injustice is more shameful than justice delayed, justice denied. So we have come to the end of our debating session, but without rebuttal round, how can I declare the end? So the rebuttal round is going to start. I would like to request the audience poll to have their questions ready. You have to pinpoint speakers or you can ask the question in general. It's your choice. I would seek our Swagata ma'am's help in order to run the debater round successfully. Swagata ma'am, over to you. Can we have the audience questions ready? Swagata ma'am, we will just be selecting the ones who will be questioning. This help I am seeking from you to run the show. Yes, students, are you ready with the questions? Can we go for the rebuttal round?
Children, you can post your questions in the chat box.
Please post it.
Yes, those who want to have a question raised, please give your names. I'll select. Upama ma'am, I don't think so. We need any timer here. Isn't it, Debduti ma'am?
Timer is not needed, but as we have specified 10 minutes max to max, so I feel 1 minute per speaker can be allotted at the most. And questions must be to the point, precise and very relevant. Do not elongate the question. Make it very pinpoint so that within 1 minute, one speaker can complete. Yes.
Debduti ma'am, there is a message from RV ma'am. Ma'am wanted me to convey this message to you.
Yes.
Since class 11 admission is going on, along with policy decision, ma'am is unable to join. Okay, ma'am sent all her best wishes to our team.
Thank you so much, Upama ma'am, and thank you, RB ma'am, our honorable in charge ma'am, for being with us, maybe for a brief period of time. Your encouragement really matters. Now, over to students, the audience poll for rebuttal round. Come on, ask questions.
Debduti ma'am, Ranjana Shorkar. Ranjana Shorkar wants to ask a question.
To whom, Ranjana, you want to ask a question? Pinpoint the speaker. Ranjana, your question.
Ma'am, I want to ask a question to all those who spoke against the sentence that justice delayed is justice denied. So, all of you who spoke against this statement, don't you think that justice delayed is justice denied? Do you all think just that if anybody's justice is
please make it short. Please make it short. Come to the main point. Come to the main question, please.
Do all of you agree that if justice, if anybody's justice for any kind of wrong done to him or her is late for some time, then it will be denied forever.
I don't think
Okay.
so. Your question is very
I
clear.
don't think, yeah, its question is not very clear and it was generally asked and a very long question. Still, since we have taken the question, any member of Peace Hazari can answer him that delayed justice is also justice. Probably that is the point. Who will be answering from Peace Hazari? Anyone can answer.
Ma'am, may I? This is Debarati.
Yes. Yes, please, Debarati.
First of all, we have been speaking against the motion because we believe in it. That's the first point. And secondly, if justice delayed means justice denied, then justice heard means justice buried. Of course, it doesn't mean that if justice is delayed, it means that it wasn't denied to someone. It was served, but in a later period because of various complications.
Thank you, Debarati. I think you have answered it clearly. Legal complications is the cause of delay, but not denial. Now, next questioner. Next question.
Question from
Ma'am,
Khushi.
can I please add some points to that?
Only one answer, Rhythm.
No, only one answer. Sorry. Okay, next one. Khushi.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I want to ask the question to the Tisazari group. I totally agree that justice cannot be provided so easily. But what is the point of justice after anyone is dead or delayed justice? There are endless amendments made every year to secure the criminals or to ease their trials. So I just want to know that isn't it
Okay.
for the
Okay, Khushi. I want, other than Debarati, someone to answer from Peace Hazari team.
Ma'am, I want to answer this question.
Yes, Labono. Is it Labono?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Labono, you can answer.
Ma'am, she told that if the person dies, what is the use of the justice? I would like to mark that if in a hurry we make a justice against the person, then the person, if other leaves also, it is better to die for her. That justice will not be a justice to her, not be the justice to the person, to the family. So it is better to be a delayed justice, but a correct one.
Okay. Now, Orko Prabha from the audience wants to put a question to Rhythm. Orko Prabha, turn to you. Your turn.
My question to Rhythm is, law was formulated to ensure justice. Then why did the very law acquit the person who was the most brutal in case of Nirbhaya only because he was a juvenile? Was justice actually served?
That is actually the question. Rhythm, over to you.
So first of all, I want to know, how how are the investigators gonna know that who was the most brutal one? And it's not valid. No. How will the investigator know that he was the most brutal one? He was just sent to 3 years probation according to the law. Like he wasn't given the punishment because they thought that it won't be okay to give him the punishment because he was a juvenile. As simple as that.
Okay, fine. Sorry, Meghna, I cannot give you the chance.
Now 1 minute. And there is also no Doraemon time TV for the judge, like how the real culprit gets identified just like that. There's no such kind of Doraemon time TV in reality, right?
Okay, thank you, Rhythm. Sorry, Meghna, I can't give you a second chance to ask to Debarati because Debarati has already answered a question. Swagata ma'am, who else we have?
Madhusudan Mahato.
Madhusudan Mahato wants to ask the question to whom?
Patiala team.
Yes,
Patiala
good
team.
afternoon to
Team
one and all.
Patiala.
Yes, good afternoon to one and all. I want to ask a question to Patiala group. That is, if a case is satisfactorily concluded in the lower court, then the defeated side files an appeal in the high court, right? And when the high court concludes the case and appeal lies to the Supreme Court, so what shall we do? Shall we do away with entire appellate jurisdiction, or shall we submit the charge sheet half finished?
Okay. Anyone can answer since it was not a pinpoint question. Anyone from Patiala House can answer.
I would like to voice my opinions on this.
Yes, please.
I want to just point out here that the judges in the higher courts are much more experienced. They know the law better than the judges who are present in the lower courts. The lower courts are for those cases which are petty, which the Supreme Court surely cannot be made to deal with a theft of say 1,000 or 2,000 rupees. They have got far more serious issues on their hand. So the higher courts are meant for more serious decision taking, while the lower courts are made for decisions which are not that important for the whole country in general. So I think we can dismiss this question, because that is the purpose of the lower courts, to dispense justice such that it is agreeable
Thank you.
to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Angona, you want to question whom in Patiala House? Angona, over to you.
Actually, I would like to,
I
I would
think the
like to ask a
questions
question
for
to the people who are speaking for the notion that
yes,
that justice delayed is justice denied.
What is your
Ma'am,
question,
I would
Angona?
like to ask that sometimes there is lack of witness. Yes, ma'am. Sometimes there is lack of witness and sufficient evidence due to delay in court proceedings. Then how in that
I suppose she's encountering technical glitches.
Okay, so I think with due permission of the judges, we can conclude the rebuttal round. What is your opinion, judges? Over to you. Any of the judges? Molly ma'am.
Devaduti
Yes.
ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Chirosri ma'am.
Can I just have a word with Shomo? I just want to, kind of, since it is all about jurisdictional capacity, can I just have a word with Shomo, the person?
Sure, sure. But we are time now, so just a word with
Just
Shomo.
just a sentence of correction, maybe. Shomo, can
Yes.
I have a word with
Yes.
you, Shomo? May I
Yes,
have you
ma'am.
here, Shomo? Shomo, you just said that the lower court judges are not that experienced, if I'm not wrong, and high court judges are much more experienced than the lower court judges. And of course, maybe you are correct in this particular sentence, and at the same time, you also said that the Supreme Court is definitely not, the Supreme Court is not maybe interested to take all the important, unimportant cases like a theft of 1,000 rupees or 200 rupees like that. Just one, it is not a correction or something like that. Just note this point, that the Supreme Court, you cannot, all the courts at all level are equally important. And in case of appellate jurisdiction, the Supreme Court only takes those cases that are, kind of assigned or that are provided by the High Court, and the High Court provides a fit case of appeal. Until and unless the High Court provides a certificate, a fit certificate, the Supreme Court are not allowed to take these cases in case of appellate jurisdiction. This is just my point. So over here, all the courts, all the judges are equally important. Lower court judges are also doing their jurisdictional capacity. High Court judges are also taking appellate jurisdictional cases. And ultimately, the Supreme Court, being the guardian of the Constitution, when the Supreme Courts are taking cases under the appellate jurisdictional capacity, they only take those cases that are being provided by the High Court, and the High Courts are providing a fit case of appeal. Then only they take it. Okay?
Thank you, Chirosri ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for enlightening us and giving us all those, tidbits of judiciary system which we may not be knowing as ordinary citizens of India. I hope all of us have really enjoyed, and that is actually the flavor of the day. We really enjoyed debating, and through this session, we have come to know a lot of things. Over to Shubhra Bhattacharya ma'am, one of the judges. Ma'am, if you kindly highlight your judgment or anything that you want to say.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Before concluding the intra-school debate competition, on behalf of the Senior Secondary English Department, my respected colleagues, debaters, and student audience, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to Honorable Principal, Ma'am Vijaya Chaudhary, Honorable Vice Principal, Ma'am Taposhi Mukherjee, Honorable Director of Education, Ma'am Ruma Basu, for their gracious presence and providing us with the privilege of going through this unique experience of online debate. And I would even like to congratulate all the debaters for their highly admirable open exchanges. Indeed, all will agree that the challenge posed by both Patiala House and Tis Hazari was exceptionally informative and entertaining, isn't it? So to conclude, debaters, your most awaited result of the intra-school debate competition will be posted on VDMI Facebook page, and you will also receive e-certificates. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
So students, virtue is the best, the best virtue in man is patience. So we have to be patient because that's the best virtue. So I think with that we can come to the end of this very entertaining debating session. Thank you very much. Thank you all of you for joining with us. Stay safe, stay connected. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, you will
And
receive
of course, I would like to thank our IT department and Upama ma'am and our activity coordinator, Saurabh sir, Vikram sir, without whose able help and support, of course, streaming this program would not have been possible. Thank you very much, Upama ma'am, Saurabh sir, and Vikram sir for being with us and constantly giving us the technical support. Thank you so much.
Children, you may leave the meeting.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.